Hey y'all, welcome back to A Moment with Miranda, where we take a few minutes to reflect, reset, and remind ourselves that we are enough. I know, my intro is really cheesy, but I love it. Today I wanted to talk about something that's incredibly important, yet often absolutely overlooked. The power of setting of the boundaries. Boundaries aren't just about keeping things out. They're about protecting what is within. It's about drawing a line around your energy, your time, and your peace, and saying, this is sacred and I'm not willing to compromise it. You know, when we think about boundaries, many of us immediately feel uncomfortable. Me too. Still, to this day. We worry about being seen as a difficult person, as selfish, or maybe even unkind. But here's the truth. Setting boundaries is one of the kindest things that you can do for yourself and those around you. Because when you honor your own limits, you're able to show up as the best version of yourself. Not just a drained, stretched too thin version that's trying to please everyone. Trust me, being a people pleaser is not the play. I used to be one of those. Absolutely a people pleaser. Would do anything for a good job or a pat on the back. And I'll admit it, even to this day, I still struggle with saying no. I thought that saying yes to everyone meant that I was being helpful, that I was proving my worth, and that I was making others happy. But over time, I realized that saying yes to everyone else often meant saying no to myself. And let me tell you, that's a recipe for burnout, resentment, and exhaustion. I am an Energizer bunny, but there are limits. It took me a while to understand that by always putting others first, I was neglecting the most important person in my life. Me. You see, boundaries are not walls. They're not just about shutting people out or pushing them away. They're about creating space where people can thrive, where you can protect what matters most, and where you can be the best version of yourself for the people that you care about. And when you start setting those boundaries, something amazing happens. You begin to attract other people who honor and respect them. It's crazy, but it's real. Think about a time when you felt absolutely overwhelmed, when you had too much on your plate, or when you felt like you were constantly giving without receiving anything at all. That's usually a sign that your boundaries have been crossed, or that they weren't firmly placed to begin with. It's a wake-up call, my beautiful friend. A reminder that it's time to recalibrate and reclaim your peace. But here's the thing about boundaries. They're not easy to set. And they're even harder to enforce. It can be absolutely uncomfortable to say, nope, not gonna do it, to someone you care about. Or to walk away from situations that absolutely drain you. But I promise you, the discomfort is temporary. And the peace that will follow, oh, will it be worth it? Because when you say no to the things that don't serve you, you're saying yes to yourself, your well-being, and the life that you truly want to live. Boundaries. They can look different for everyone. For some, it's about not answering work emails after a certain time. For others, it's about limiting time with people who don't respect your energy. And sometimes it's about setting boundaries with ourselves. Saying no to like the negative self-talk, the unhealthy habits, or the endless need to be perfect. My biggest one that I have to learn to say no to is my brain. I have to tell it to stop. and relax and take a rest, and that we don't have to solve that problem because it's not our problem. So, if we're in this predicament, how do we start setting boundaries? First, you need to identify where they're needed. Ask yourself, where do I feel drained? Where do I feel the most resentment or resentful? What am I tolerating that I no longer want to tolerate because it doesn't serve me? Once you have those answers, start small. You don't have to overhaul and do this thing overnight. Begin by setting one boundary at a time and allow yourself to get comfortable with it. We're here to grow, right? We're not here to be the beanstalk, because if we grow too quickly, Jack will cut it down. All right. And here's the most important part, and the hardest part. You have to stand firm. It's one thing to set a boundary, but it's another to enforce it, especially when others push back. But remember, you are worthy of protecting your peace. You deserve to have your needs met, and you have every right to say no without feeling guilty. Thank you for spending this moment with me. Please honor your boundaries and keep believing in your value, and surround yourself with those who do truly respect your space. Protect your peace because you deserve it. And always remember, you are always enough, babe. Always.